Here's a new day, guys. I have the fender on and I have the door on. I'm just trying to get everything sized up and make sure all my lines are correct. This area here looks really good, but this is not where the damage was. So I expect this to be good. Oh, and look what I did over here. When I was taking off the metal, I accidentally broke off one of the tabs, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I might just weld it back on, or I don't know, just leave it. So it's not really needed. But here's the main area that I'm looking at. Before I even put on the skin, I need to make sure that the frame of the door is correct, because the skin is basically going to conform to the frame of the door. This area of the door frame is just too high, so I labeled it. I wrote on there that I need to hit this in, and as we come down here, this needs to come out a little bit more. And this is where the impact was. This is where most of the impact was. And there was just a big wrinkle, and this whole area was just leaning in. So I really had to pull it out a lot more. And this whole area just needed a lot more work than I expected. So I really thought the door skin was just bad, and I was just going to replace the door skin. But it might have been worth it just to get a whole new door. But I am making progress. So I think with just a little more finesse, I'm going to get the lines pretty good. And overall, I can change the shape in small ways with the fender and the door. So in the end, I think it's going to look pretty good. Here's another sketchy setup, guys. Let me turn the light here for you. I moved my GT out of the way, and I anchored in a D ring down here, a D ring. And I got my body clamp. Dang it. I got stuff all over the garage now. Alright, so I got my body clamp right here. I torqued it down really good. And I wanted to pull this thing at approximately the height of the fender. I don't want to pull it down to the concrete. So I put up this 2x4 to give it more of a straight pull. So there we go, guys. It's I got these from Costco, these tie down straps from Costco. And hopefully they're gonna hold up. Now the car is being held in place by this little one down here. It might not hold, but it's only like sheet metal over here. So I think we're gonna be okay. Now I'm gonna go, let's see. The strut measurements are okay. So from bolt to bolt, we're okay. It's these holes that I'm worried about. So this hole to the other one is about 1/4 of an inch off. So this support right here is leaning over. So I just want to, it's not bent or kinked or anything. So I just want to bend it over just a little bit. So hopefully this 2x4 is going to hold. I think that's the most sketchy part of this setup. If that holds, then we're golden. I know it's upside down, but we're sitting about 157.5. I'm looking at the right side of that hole because I'm on the right side of the other hole. So about 157.5. I need to get to about 158. So far it's not working out, guys. I'm pulling it as hard as I can, but I might have to get my come along, my cable winch, to get in here, give it some more torque or tension. And so I'm still sitting at pretty much the same spot I was before. And I gave it a couple taps on the side just to try to relax the metal a little bit, but it's not really doing anything. I did dent the metal just a little bit, so now I know how hard not to hit it. And so I'm just going to tap it a little bit more over here. Just tap it just to make it relax a little bit. Well, this is working pretty good, guys. My support here, my fender support, is not straight up and down like it was before, so there's a little bit of a lean to it, just like the other side. So that's looking good, and I'm within probably about 1 or 2 millimeters. Here's my front end measurements right here. So here's the area we're looking at, and I'm comparing it to the other side. So I need to go with 791 plus 791. That's going to give me 1582, and we're right there. So from this hole, this is where the headlight support is, and from this hole to the other side, we're sitting right at 1582. Now it's going to relax just a little bit when I take the tension off, but we're still in the ballpark. I have some of my body panels on now, and check out the holes. They're pretty much right in the middle, guys. And that one bolt right there, I put it on my fender and it wasn't stressed or anything. It just fit right in. Now this bottom bracket for the fender was bent up pretty good. I still need to bend that back into shape a little bit because the holes aren't yet lining up very well. Okay, so, but let me close this. All right, so these are all OEM parts, guys, because nothing's really available aftermarket for the Seltos. But let me come over here and show you guys the lines. So this is where there was no damage and everything looks really good. You know, perfect over here. So it give you a reference. Now we come over here and we have this huge gap. So everything looks really good here. And I think the gap is going to look good. This gap looks good. The fender could go forward a little bit. But this gap definitely is not going away. And I have not replaced the hood hinge. So now I know, now that I have the body panels and the body or the frame exactly where it should be, I know that that hood hinge is bad. So I probably should have got it from the get-go, and you guys are like, come on, you know, get the hood hinge, right? So it's coming along, guys. I'm gonna get that hood hinge and I'm gonna continue with the door skin. Let's see, this place is a total mess now. Panel bonding adhesive. So this I think was, I don't know, $40, something like that. It was on Amazon, I can't remember. But the dispensing gun was about $80, and I found it on eBay. Came out of Newark, Ohio, which is really close to us. So I just need to make sure that everything is good and tight, and then we'll glue everything down. And we also have some spot welds up here that I need to take care of. And we'll get this thing done, guys. The frame of the door is looking pretty good, and it's just about ready for the door skin. I did want to tell you guys that there was a lot of damage with the frame. It was hit here. I thought the damage was only on the skin, but it actually did come down into the frame of the door. So I would say like this is the first lip, but like the second or third lip down here was also damaged and contorted a little bit. And this brace was also hit, so it was damaged on both sides of the door where the brace connected. So this area here was bent down, and then I had to hammer it back up, and I'll have to resurface that side as well. The same over here, the brace was hit, so there was a lot of damage on the underside right here. I also welded this little tab back on. It looks terrible, I know, but it's there. Okay, the next thing I did was I just painted everything that's going to be epoxied. So it's not like Bondo. You know, with Bondo you want to strip it down to the metal and create that surface bond. But with this one, with the epoxy, you can just epoxy right over the paint, and that'll be your bonding surface. So next I'm going to put the door on the car, make sure everything fits, lock it down, and we'll see from there. I might just weld it on the car, or I might bring it down here and epoxy everything in place. I've been working on the Elantra GT for a couple of days, and it is running, and I went around the block for the first time in about 2 years. But getting back to the Seltos now, this is looking pretty good. So the door skin is not really secured in place, so I have a screw here, and that's just so I can work on it and get it exactly where I want it to be when the door is off the car. Well, it turned out a lot better than I was expecting. I really thought it was going to be bad. You know, this is my first time doing this, There are going to be, some gaps and some imperfections and stuff, but a lot of it's going to fill in. So the next thing I got to do is sand this off and fill it in. I'm trying to get some reflection here just to show you guys the imperfections. There you can see some. So I got to sand that down. With my metal block, I did a little bit better when I was trying to angle it. So at first I was kind of like, too far back, and that was putting more pressure in the middle. So if you angle it in a way that only puts pressure on the outside, then you're not going to get dents in the middle. Here's my garage, guys. The Seltos is back there and it's waiting for me to work on it. I'm mainly waiting for one more part right here, and that just goes on the front end. But what happened was when I was trying to remove it, I was pulling on the sides and I warped it. Let me see if I could show you. See how it's kind of wavy? So instead of taking everything to the auto body shop for painting, without that, I wanted to wait for that one piece. It's only $35. So I'm waiting for that. And then once I have that, everything is going to get painted. So we have the fender, the hood, the door, the bumper cover, and that piece right there. So, and what happened with that piece was that I was ordering it online, and then for some reason they just canceled my order. I was really expecting it to show up at my door like any minute, any day, and then all of a sudden I received an email 2.5 weeks later that my order was canceled. So it's really frustrating. So now I have to start the process all over again, and the car has just been sitting here ever since. And if you guys notice, my Elantra GT is out, and here's my Honda Civic. I have the fender off and the rear bumper off, and they're both getting painted right now. I should get them back this week. The front bumper is fine, but it's just off, so I can take off the left fender. It's running fine, but to my knowledge, it still has that problem, like where if the car is sitting, it's going to give me all the error codes, in the world, and then I have to reset it with my computer, and then everything works fine. More to come on that. In the meantime, I'll show you my other project while I'm waiting for my fenders and all that other stuff. So here's my project, guys, when I'm not working on cars. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit slow on some of this stuff because I just don't do this stuff every day. Like, I'm okay doing it. I know the principles of it, but I'm not going to go in there and just knock it out in one day like a professional would. So we destroyed our bathroom, and I'm trying to rebuild it with a good design, but also a good strength. What we're doing is we're putting in a new shower. We took out a tub, and we're going to put in vanities going all the way across instead of having like a little vanity over here. We're also adding a laundry over here, and of course everything's going to have new floor. It's going to be heated, but right now I'm just trying to work on the mechanicals at this moment. Originally the water supply lines were on this side, but now we're going to have a half wall which is going to show off the window, and there's going to be glass right here in the shower. So the water had to run underneath. Now I have a new shower valve over here, and the laundry supply lines come under here. There's no electrical yet for the washer and the dryer, so that has to be worked on. Also, the vent for the dryer is going to go up. Originally I was going to have it go down, but now it looks like it's too difficult to come through here. Everything's clogged. Look what we got here. We got a cat. Pretty big cat. No raccoon today, unfortunately. We do have another trap down there by the shed, and I'll check it. I don't know what the right thing to do is for this. I guess I'll just take him, release him. Jesus Christ. Cat looks pissed off. Trying to help you, cat. Calm down. Let's see what we got over here. Hey, we got a raccoon. Hey buddy, how you doing? This guy's sleeping. Here we are in the woods. We have a river over there, and I'm gonna let them out. Here we go. There he goes. All right. Well, there's one problem down.